Hello world, welcome back to the Razor RC, and super excited today because we finally got it. We got the brand new monster truck from Team Associated. This is the Rival MT8. It was announced like 5 or 6 months ago, I think October or November of 2021. And it got delayed. I'm not really sure why, but Team Associated announced it, but you couldn't buy one of these for a long time. They finally are available for purchase. So this is a 1/8 scale, ready to run monster truck. 4-wheel drive, of course, brushless powered, of course. And yeah, a few little things: pre-painted body, 2.4 gigahertz radio, off-road tires, 4-wheel drive like I mentioned, electric, and Team Associated has had a few monster trucks in the past. They have a Rival MT10, which I have. Excellent monster truck. If you're looking for like a starter, smaller scale, 1/10 scale monster truck, that thing is awesome. They also used to sell a Rival, I think it was just called the Rival MT, and it's been discontinued for 5 or 6 years, I want to say. So this is their latest 1/8 scale monster truck. They brought back the Rival name. It is a completely different vehicle. There is no relationship to the old Rival 1/8 scale monster truck, except in name only. But yeah, we're going to take a look at this. This is the box. I have not opened it or anything. Some specs here for those of you interested. 1/8 scale, ready to run. There's the length, width. Wheelbase is 330 millimeters, which is a little bit on the larger side for a 1/8 scale short wheelbase. You know, like a 1/8 scale buggy or something like that. Usually I think about 325, 328 millimeters. So a little bit longer, but still kind of a smaller scale, short wheelbase monster truck. There's the weight and 4-wheel drive. So you will need to include, you will need to buy batteries. They do make a version with a LiPo and like basic charger, but I bought the regular one without battery or charger because I have plenty of those on my own. Flipping it over to the other side, here are the tires. I'm going to be referencing the Redcat Kaiju quite a bit because to be quite honest, this shares a lot of components. There's kind of the basic architecture as a Redcat Kaiju, and so we're going to kind of look at the differences as well. These are tires different than the Kaiju. They look more like a street bias type tire rather than a full-on off-road one. It does include LEDs, a redesigned bumper, tower-to-tower brace, which is really nice. That's something a lot of kits have been adding in their latest offerings. You know, Team Corelli added a tower-to-tower brace. The Traxxas Sledge, which is coming out in about a week, that's got a tower-to-tower brace. So Rival MT8 as well has that. Wheelie bar, aluminum shocks, 4mm aluminum chassis, which I think has got to be class leading. I don't think there's another 1/8 scale with a 4mm chassis. The new Traxxas Sledge has a 3.2mm chassis, so this is pretty cool. That should add a lot of durability in the chassis. And then the all steel drivetrain with CVA axles. That's awesome. Some other little features: ball bearings throughout. Adjustable wheelie bar. I believe it's 3 differentials, including the center differential. Aluminum suspension braces, all this stuff. 2100 kV motor, and it is 6S or 4S capable, 150 amp ESC. So yeah, let's take a look inside this thing and let's see what's inside. Oh, dang it. Okay, we got the truck out of the box, and it's a stunning looking vehicle. This is my first time seeing one of these. I haven't even really watched much videos or unboxings or anything on this truck because I just want to see what it looked like for me in the flesh and not really be affected by anyone's opinion. We're going to talk about some other stuff that comes in the box. Looks like a little reedy guide to your motor. Just the motor. Okay, you got one for the motor. You got one for the ESC. So this is SC 1500BL owner's manual. Not a whole lot going on. Troubleshooting. Supports up to 6S 2400 kV. Does not look like it has any programming or anything like that. It does show you throttle calibration, which is nice, very important. Something I do out of the box with every vehicle. XP 120 manual, tells you how to use it, a few different languages, a bind plug for that, some Allen keys, help you work on your car in case you don't have anything. Little wheel wrench, not bad. 17mm hexes, I assume. Here is the manual, nice full color cover. And then the insides look, yeah, very much Team Associated looking. You know, I like how they show you how everything goes together, including if you were to build one of these from scratch. Some tuning tips, even rear camber, basic stuff like that. They do have parts throughout, so if you want to buy a replacement part, that is nice. Certificate of conformity seems to be some kind of, I don't know, licensing or standards type thing or something. This thing, I'm pretty sure, is made in China, so conforms to Chinese standards, whatever those are. And the radio XP120, I gotta admit, I'm not a super big fan of this radio. I could have sworn I had a cover before. Maybe I was wrong. But, I mean, foam wheel, which is always nice. Looks like it needs to be corrected a little bit. Trigger, very light. 4 double A's, 2.4 gigahertz. Throttle trim, steering trim, and door rates. Throttle and steering reversing. A little LED to tell you when this thing's powered on or if the batteries are getting low. Very cheap radio. It has all the functionality you would want, but the thing I don't like about this, I've had many of these in the past, I've had like 3 or 4 of these, is that, yeah, the controls aren't the greatest. The throttle linearity is not quite there, the steering linearity is not quite there, but it's good enough to go out of the box, and honestly, most people probably will not notice the difference. But yeah, that's the radio, and here is the vehicle. So, pulling off the body, is attached with 4 body clips, of course. Nice plastic bumper, that is cool. Very attractive paint job. I like the styling of the body overall. I mean, I think it's a good looking body. Molded composite grille. A little bit of a roll cage here in the back, integrated into the bed. And then, yeah, there's the grille. It's painted reasonably thick. Even the sides are quite thick. That is impressive. So I think it's a pretty nice body. I mean, I'm not like most people where I care that much about the body. I don't know. I guess people destroy their bodies, but mine seem to last a lot longer somehow. I wonder why that is. But more seriously, here's the truck. Here's the tires. Firm tires, firm foam. Tread pattern, I would say, is more of an all-terrain rather than a dirt style tire, so I don't think these will hook up particularly well in the dirt, but we'll see. These giant blocks will last a long time though, so I don't think you'll need to replace these anytime soon. Little caps for the wheel hexes. Pretty sure they're 17mm hexes. Now the big one, black anodized aluminum chassis, including like these sort of, I don't know, triangulation or whatever you want to call it. So that shall add additional stiffness. Nice bumpers, front and rear, plastic integrated sliders here, so you won't be destroying this chassis all that much. Even on the back end, these feel really, really nice. They look awesome. So I'm going to be talking about the Redcat Kaiju a fair amount because, quite honestly, this is based off that architecture, but it looks almost completely different. I mean, shock towers are different. They've got the integrated shock standoffs rather than, you know, steel standoffs. The body mounts are completely different. The shocks have a little blue anodizing. I don't know if the shocks are the same, but yeah, they look very attractive. The arms, I think, are different as well. They don't look exactly the same. Even the upper arms look different. So these are not the same plastics as your grandfather's Redcat Kaiju. Turnbuckles are quite different. They're at least sort of steel colored, or maybe they're just chromed or something like that. Not really sure. Knuckles look maybe the same. Can't tell exactly. I do have a Redcat Kaiju, so I will be looking at it more in depth. They do have the steel drivetrain, including CVAs in the front. Oh, pretty soft servo saver. They did completely redesign all this, so this is all different. Steering rack, everything is all different. Nice adjustable servo saver, accessible from the top, which is pretty cool. Aluminum servo horn, which is really important. And again, they flipped the servo upside down or right side up because the Kaiju, I'm pretty sure it's mounted from the bottom. Adjustable drag link. This looks very much like what you would expect from a TM Associate. To be quite honest, I mean, this is a very, very nice looking truck. Battery is centered in the middle. I think there are different, yeah, it does slide back and forth a little bit, so you can accommodate different size batteries, leaving a little top strap here to put over your battery, and then 2 battery straps, of course. Tower to tower brace, or really tower to center differential braces there. Aluminum with plastic rod ends, of course. Here's your on-off switch. Does use Dean's or T-style connectors, which, you know, is a little bit of a downside. But the reason they don't use XT90 or something like that, or they definitely are not going to use EC5 because that's a Horizon Hobby thing. But AMAS owns the XT90 connector, so they would have to license it or whatever if they want to include that. I will definitely be swapping that out to probably an EC5. Motor wires are a little on the thin side. They look like maybe 12 gauge wires. Interesting how the colors are mismatched, probably due to motor rotation. The forward mounting motors, maybe they have to rotate opposite normal. That's one sort of trick to get your motor to run in the opposite location. Now, they do have the SC1500BL. I have not used one of these. I don't even know if these come on any of their RC cars. Maybe the DB8 had the SC1500BL, but it looks very much like a Hobby Wing Quick Run one. What is it, the 8BL 150, I think it's called. Looks like a very similar ESC, so it is probably rebranded. Now, one thing I'm curious about is that all the Team Associated ESCs in the past did have their punch level set too low and you could not adjust it, so I don't know if this one is programmable. I'm guessing not. Team Associated tends to lock out their ESCs, but that was really one problem I had with all their other ESC, the SC600BL, also the one that comes on the Reflex 14B. They had their punch level way too low, you couldn't adjust it, and as a result you didn't get like full throttle immediately off trigger pull like you would expect. Nice little receiver box with a little body clip to open it up. Here's the antenna, aluminum, looks like sliding motor mount, so that is adjustable. Center differential, nice steel CVAs down the center line, ball bearings throughout, of course. What else we got here? I think arms and, oh, the arms are different front and rear, so not sure about the Kaiju if it's got different arms front and rear. Looks like got place to mount sway bars. Those are definitely sway bar mounts there. Does not include any sway bars, but looks like that might be an option. Does feel kind of light, honestly. Should be fluid filled. Let's feel the rear differential. Yeah, differential fluids feel very, very light. I mean, I would guess at most 10K. What else we got going on? Yeah, so things I want to talk about. They did take basically a Redcat Kaiju and then just completely beef the whole thing up. This honestly is really like what a Kaiju should be in like a V2 or a V3 version, whatever you want to call it. They redesigned the bumper, redesigned the shock tires. Those are two areas that I broke a lot on my Kaiju. The bumpers definitely are weak on the Kaiju, but this is much more beefed up. Does have this nice little shock absorber up front. Shock tires, again, those standoffs could fall off, so it's a nice fully integrated shock tire. The body mounts on the Kaiju are pretty weak. These look quite a bit beefier. They look really, really nice. Tire brace, I wouldn't say was necessary on the Kaiju because it had a plastic chassis, so you didn't really have that problem with the chassis bending or anything. The chassis on the Kaiju is actually very durable, so that's pretty cool to see. Sliding motor mount, which is nice. The Kaiju, I think, has kind of like this rotating one, similar to the Rival MT8, which is not the greatest design. This is much more durable, much more adjustable, and should hold down a lot better. Receiver box off to the side, so that's nice. Looks like you fit a decent sized receiver there. Not a huge one, but at least something decent sized. Tires, I really like the Kaiju tires, but these are redesigned. They are very hard. This will probably hold up to 6S a lot better, but probably not as good in rough terrain, dirt, like true off-roading. It's nice that they look like, yeah, they did redesign these upper arms, which were a weakness on the Kaiju, and the turnbuckles look a little bit different. They look thicker to me, but it's been a while since I looked at my Redcat Kaiju. I think wheelie bar looks very similar to the old one. Certainly the wheels themselves look very similar. So yeah, overall, a very nice looking truck. You know, the battery tray looks pretty nice. Now, it does include LEDs. I'm going to get rid of those. It does include the Deans. I'm going to get rid of those and put it on EC5. Probably tighten down the servo saver. It feels like super weak. Servo is a 2513 MG servo, metal geared, 25 kilograms. Looks pretty decent. You know, so hopefully that holds up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The Team Associated Rival MT8. Looking forward to running this beast. I really like the Kaiju. The Kaiju is actually probably the best bang for the buck vehicle out there, but it sells for $450, I think, at the time of this video. This is $509. without battery. So that is, it's only like 50 bucks more, and it looks like it's got a ton of nice improvements, especially the chassis, the shock towers, the bumper, a lot of things that they fixed. The arms, everything looked beefier than the Kaiju version. So if this thing holds up, I will be really impressed. 4mm chassis is quite impressive, and I'm looking forward to running this thing. It's a great time to be a 1/8 scale monster truck fan. Tons of vehicles out there. I actually own like every other monster truck: the Savage X Flux, the E-Revo 2.0, the Team Corrale Kronos, the Arma Creighton, and Outcast EXB. I've got an HPS Savage X Flux V2. I've got a Kaiju, like I mentioned. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of 1/8 scale 6S vehicles, and it's nice to see Team Associates back with and offering another entry in this competitive space, and we're gonna see how it performs. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, add notifications buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.